they're really working hard on the three big policy documents: the risk management, the rate making, and the cost sharing. Kevin's at a meeting now in Dover. The key changes to the risk management is the reserve fund. There's going to be a general reserve fund, and then municipalities and towns can add their own reserve fund where they can sock away money for their own energy projects, which I think is a smart tactic. So you can set your rates where you want to have a sinking fund of some kind to put in solar panels or whatever you want to do. The CEO firm, search firm is contracted. They're getting the job specs. They want to have a CEO by late March. Calpine is the contractor for all the customer service and the billing and the utility interface. They're hard at work. That contract's done, and with that comes $750,000 of startup funding. So the coalition is liquid. The Ascend Analytics contract is almost done, and they're securing agreements with a load-serving entity to be their purchasing agent. So they'll provide the portfolio management brains of what to buy. And then they're also reviewing, and then the load-serving entity will do the purchasing. That should be temporary until CPC&H can itself become a load-serving entity, which is the long-term plan. And Ascend is also going through the business plans, updating all the models, which is good because some of those are 18 months old. Clean Energy New Hampshire has entered their contract to have Henry and Lisa Sweet and others be going town to town, and all efforts are really focused on a go live in May for the first wave. So all those pieces are being put together.
So are Henry and Lisa Sweet actually part of Clean Energy New Hampshire?
I'm not clear on that.
Okay.
I wish I could answer that. Henry used to work for Clean Energy, and now he's independent, so we'll see where it all falls out. He's very able, I think. And then last bit of news is Concord is the next town that we think
Nice.
will join.
Very good.
The logos, Allison, thank you. Wicked good logo.
Thank you.
I like the sunshine. I like the sunlight in it, you know. I think that's a good metaphor.
I'm sure it can be done better. It was just what I threw together using PowerPoint, you know, and those were commercially available, non-trademarked images.
Yes. I like it because it has the North Church steeple. I mean, that's really what people think of when they think of Portsmouth.
Yeah. And
First.
Stephanie, when do we need a logo? Like yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we decide on one, we'll start using it and everything. So, and I think when Henry sent his, there was discussion that, what did he say? He wanted to do things with it by December 15th. So, but I don't know what things he's doing, you know.
Yeah, I guess it was for material they're preparing.
And I think the temptation is to try to use it in the survey and on the survey postcard, but I think until we explain to people that that's our logo, I think that would be a disservice with the postcard. I think having the CPC logo and our own and the city logo gives it that
Gravitas.
Right.
gravitas and authentication. Because nobody will have seen the other one and won't know what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Would it make sense for us to choose one and say this is what the working group Thursday night thought was the best.
Do you?
Of that awesome decision-making power with.
And I'm not a committee member, so it's up to the three of you. My democratic spirit says, do we want to float it to the others, or, it's one of those too many cooks in the kitchen as well.
Can we-
Designing is very fraught.
Right, and can we float it without violating the right to know? I mean, if we're asking for decisions, that's
Right.
sort of having a meeting.
Because otherwise you have to wait till January. And I don't really think there's a downside. I mean, it might be great to time the whole identity with your public hearing, your first public presence.
That's kind of nice, and you could reveal the logo. You could have like the logo up with a sheet over it.
Pull.
Yes, we are now
Off the
Portsmouth.
curtain. I like
Yes, we're Portsmouth Community Power. This is our new logo. It's kind of exciting.
that. Okay, so we'll tee it up for the January meeting.
And in the meantime, I can go back to Henry and say, what is your, for what do you need the logo, and when do you need it by?
Right.
I'm just.
And say
share
we've,
that.
we've got a local entry and send that to them, so.
Yeah.
Latest on the survey. Things ground to a halt there when it looked like we had to spend money. So, Karen was away Thanksgiving week. I got together with her Tuesday, and it's in the process of RFP, right?
Yeah, because Bridie was looking for specifics on whether we needed design services as well as just printing and the mailhouse services. She offered the ad hoc opinion that the cost wasn't rising to a level that she thought it needed to be bid. Now,
Okay.
that's anecdotal, but that's,
'Cause she
so
texted.
she did talk to, or she is talking to 3 different vendors.
Yeah, I got a text from her, just saying it's in the hands of thought she said the purchasing department, but I might have missed that.
Yeah, Bridie is in purchasing.
And maybe they'll make the call on whether or not they need to issue anything formal.
Right.
Okay, so it might not go through an RFP, it just might be they call the 3 vendors and get quotes. That's probably what it is,
Yeah.
because that's what we had talked about earlier, she and I, so.
Well, when they're talking about design services, I mean, really? It's just a bunch of questions, I would think, and
Well, it's-
you have that one logo in there, but the.
It's designed, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Right.
So we don't need design services.
Yeah, so I wouldn't
but-
think that we need an RFP. It's just simply a print then.
Yeah, print and mail.
Yeah.
And I worked up some specs for her on the assumption that we wanted all the residences and the businesses. So that I mean, maybe a lot of those larger businesses have a third-party vendor, but,
Right.
Buzz's backhoe service
Yeah.
is gonna probably need, he'd be interested. So it's doubtful we'd get it out in December, as our timeline originally said, but Kevin and I were having a little strategy conversation yesterday, and, we're concluding that probably the best way for things to fall is the survey to go out second, third week of January, and then the survey can say, for more information, come to the public hearing, which would follow right on in, like, first week of February.
Yeah, but I
and-
wonder if that would stop people from completing the survey. Do you think that,
Well, we do it at the end. You get
Okay.
that message at the end.
Yeah, okay,
And,
Get all their, we make them answer the questions.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's logical. If you can get it out the second week, that would be great.
Mhm.
We could get it out by then. But people won't look at anything between now and the second week of January. So it doesn't even, there's no logical sense in sitting out before then.
Yeah.
At this point, so.
You want to wait till school's back.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
And the beauty of the QR code is that the postcard can be ready to go whenever, but the nuance of when the hearing is, you know, instantaneous.
Right, right, since the survey's web-based, we can change that copy right up until the last minute. Yeah, and thank you, Stephanie, she's done our creative, we're good to go.
yep,
That's great.
So,
very well done.
Mhm.
simple.
So that's our big project for the start of the new year. And let's look at and then our public hearings. We could look at our calendars and just float some dates for those.
Okay.
I'm wondering at all, I was thinking of, so I'm part of another group that we're looking to do community engagement as well, and one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to, and this is for the Climate Action Plan, and we're going to get on the speaker list for the Rotary Club, and I'm just wondering if that might be something that we want to do.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a member, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
See?
So,
Volunteer right here.
What I hear is that you get 20 minutes to present, and then you get 10 minutes of questions, and you're good to go.
More like 15 minutes to present and 5 to 10 minutes of questions,
Okay.
depending on how many other announcements they have. But that's about what it is. And we don't, I mean, we could do it in 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So I could do that, or Henry could do that. But that's a good one to do. I had talked to one of the kids from the Eco Club today who wants to have us as a speaker, so
Good.
do that as well. Just look at our other, pull out Stephanie's community engagement plan. Oh, I'm supposed to write an op-ed
Mhm.
prior to the survey. I need deadlines. I can't do anything until the deadline's close, so. Then, we had talked about a community forum prior to the public hearings.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
And what is the distinction from the resident's point of view? I mean, I understand the technical distinction, but if I'm saying, do I go to the public forum or community forum? Do I go to the public hearing?
Yeah.
Where is my time better spent?
I would think the public hearing would be more
Mhm.
official and, you know, people might want to speak out there more.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking, when we get closer to implementing, like, once the plan's approved by the PUC and the council, you know, then we're getting close to the rubber hitting the road, and then I think we really need a public forum.
Mhm. You can call the public hearing a public hearing and community forum, so people feel like it's not just, I'm
Mhm.
coming to hear things,
Right.
I'm coming to have a discussion as well.
Mhm. That makes sense. And we ought to think about Earth Day
Mhm.
in April. And of course, in the background, we were getting the aggregation plan blessed by CPCNH and also going to our council.
And I know from just proofreading the Portsmouth 400 wall calendar, I was reminded that it's not the Eco Club, but it's the high school group that put together an Earth Day rally in Market Square last year, is doing that again this year on Earth Day. They're calling it a day of action.
Oh.
Now, that seems like a perfect place for this to fit.
Sure.
Mhm. It would be nice to coordinate with the Sustainability Committee, too, because I know they're thinking about what is happening for Earth Day.
Mhm.
So if we have a coordinated effort and we just have more and more people available, we'll have more invites, I think. More
Yeah.
people show up.
Yep.
Also with the Climate Action Group, the
Right.
Wednesday Portsmouth Climate Solutions Group.
Another reason I'm glad we're doing the survey in January is it's always possible that things for the first wave can slip. You know, so we'd be way out ahead if our implementation in the second wave was slipping back towards the end of the year.
Mhm.
So this gives us a little time. They're making very steady progress. And, you know, so far, they're on schedule, but they're starting to say things like, well, the CEO will start probably late March. So,
It's a tough hiring environment right now. You know, it'll be interesting to see how many applicants.
well, they're gonna
Received.
pay $300,000 a year, so.
I know, you'd hope, but
It's somebody who's willing to take on all that risk and liability, so,
it's huge.
yeah. Thoughts on that sequence of milestones?
Did you want to look at calendars to figure out when you wanted to have the public hearing?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Assuming,
I'm just wondering if we want to move our first public hearing to February, just because
Yeah.
if we've got the survey coming out
yeah.
in January.
I think so.
Plan for like that first week of February?
There's not much of it. Wednesday's the first, Thursday's the second.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking the next week, sorry.
Yeah, the next week, the first full week.
Yeah.
Maybe a Thursday the 9th. And we could do a second one, maybe March 2nd. Space in between.
Mhm.
Is the public hearing with council?
No. No.
So
we
you
can
have the
do-
hearing and then you go to council after you,
After we've
of the
taken any
looking at-
revisions
yeah.
from the public. Yes, the great news is that this committee can do its own public hearing.
Mhm.
I'll double check with legal, but that was, and that's good, because I don't, if we wedge it into a council meeting,
right.
so it's time.
Can inform and invite.
Yeah.
That's why you're both here. Yes.
Yeah, it'll be good to have at the back end of the survey, telling people when those public forums are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We don't have any unexpected meetings that night, do we? I haven't put my my calendar in for council yet.
I haven't either.
And we have tons of extra meetings.
No. We chopped the budget down to one.
We did, we did, but there is the CIP, that's February. Isn't it February, all the CIP meetings?
I think there's only one of those for the council. One for the planning board and,
I'll look it up. We'll see. I just haven't put them all in yet.
I haven't put mine in either.
Mm. Just to think. Sorry, it's slow today. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it decided just to, everything. Need to restart it. There. Okay. It's the 11/14 council meeting, wasn't it? I've never,
People on Zoom?
it's just us.
Yep.
It's quiet.
You know, you get 20 people for an audit committee.
Familiar with that. Right. Not seeing it. This is the problem with looking up the agendas packet on the website.
Yeah. They're not
Scrolling
easy.
for,
It's hard to search.
yeah. Keep scrolling.
Well, I think January 9 is the first meeting, so the 23rd. And then theoretically the 6th.
God,
They're
froze.
every other week.
All right, I'm not having luck. The city website froze on me. That doesn't happen very often.
Well,
It's probably fine.
yeah, and we can finalize it
Yeah.
I could
in January.
check with Valerie and Kelly Barnaby about other potential conflicts that may not even be posted yet, but
Right,
if we look at February 9th and March 2nd
right,
Mhm.
and claim them if we can.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I would think this room would be big enough. I don't think we need the chamber, but you never know. See.
We've had a number of people in here for a neighborhood sidewalks meeting. I think
Oh, yeah.
we've had 3 rows of
Mhm.
people, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, this fits a lot of people.
More than you think.
Mhm.
Well, we'll tentatively say the 9th and whatever those dates were,
Yeah, the second.
March 2nd.
March 2nd, and then
Right.
we'll finalize that when we meet in January. So that brings us to next year's meeting schedule. Allison's got conflicts on Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
Mhm.
the second Wednesday of the month, I have Conservation Commission meetings.
Mhm.
That's, like clockwork, so if we could have it either on the second Thursday, of the month, that would be great for me. Just a Thursday, not a Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesdays,
We also have site walks on Wednesdays now, so.
yeah, the Climate Solutions Group, Portsmouth Climate Solutions Group meets on Wednesdays too.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are in that, but that meets every week.
Yeah, so that sounds like Thursday.
Mhm.
It's not as good for you, I know.
No, Thursdays are tough. That's okay. That's okay. It's not every Thursday,
Yeah.
but
And I would like to get an early jump in January, though. What's the?
could aim for that second, like the 12th is the second Thursday. Could even do the 5th. If you think people will show up on the 5th. It's kind of early in the month.
That's right.
People are just getting back into that.
Right.
It's 3 days in.
I've got an event on the 12th, but.
Kind of seems like, find out what Kevin's obligations to the CPC are.
Right.
Because he's our connection.
Right.
Mhm.
So if he can do the 5th.
Would it make sense to say, the second Thursday, will be of the month will be our meeting dates, but we would like to do the 5th if we can pull that off.
Mhm.
And because we'll need decisions on the 5th, we'll need a logo decision, we'll need to finalize public hearing dates.
Mhm.
And we'll need to vote minutes and do some other stuff like that.
And then the second Thursday of February is the 9th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll be prepped for that.
Yeah. We could have a, it depends on what time the hearing is, but we could always meet just briefly before if we needed to.
Yeah.
If the hearing's a 7 o'clock hearing, you could meet at 6 or 6:30.
Right, right. Just for any, might need to do.
I can tell you, I only know of one Thursday I'm definitely going to miss, so, and that's in March.
Okay,
But beyond that, I don't think that,
okay, good.
yeah, so far.
You guys, you two have a lot of say in this.
Today we do, anyway.
Yes.
That's right.
We're on spring break. Spring break is that week of,
Okay.
yeah, the second and third week of March, so
Yeah.
this isn't the only meeting I won't be able to attend.
Right, right.
Before the hearing and talking to Kelly about reserving space, what time do you want? 7, 6:30? What's the pleasure?
Public hearing,
In February.
usually 7.
Good.
7's good for a public hearing. People have a time for dinner,
Right.
then they can show up.
From wherever.
Mhm.
Okay, I will ask about that time.
And we'll make it Zoom too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Important to do that.
It feels like midnight in February when it's 7.
Yeah.
Well, the days start getting longer on, when's the solstice?
That's right.
17th, I think.
I know.
It's the day to party.
Right, I'm still a little shocked at like 4 o'clock when I'm like, is it really like sunset? It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll, let's circulate the logos. That'd be good.
For decision in January, first meeting in January, that's good.
Okay.
I'll write an update of everything in lieu of a meet, for all the many people who
Oh, December's really tough.
December and July,
Yeah.
well, August too.
Yeah, August is a tough one too. A lot of people miss August.
I think we skipped August, didn't we? There's one
I think we
month.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's there.
That's Kenneth Ferrer.
I don't know who Kenneth Ferrer is.
Member of the public. So we say welcome, we're about to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might let him know.
Kenneth, welcome. We were actually wrapping up, and the last item is public comment, if you'd like to give us any public comment.
It says he's connecting to audio. I don't think he's there yet.
Still connecting. Maybe not.
Oh. Oh, we lost him.
Oh, maybe he just dropped.
Looks like he's
Moment of
gone, huh?
excitement there.
I know. So we're always going to attend. We don't have guests very often.
Our first groupie.
Signing in for a 7 o'clock meeting. Sorry.
Any other business while we can move things forward?
Yep. If you need help with anything, let me know. I'm around.
You bet.
The one thing you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned to Councilor Cook about about holding off on the chamber e-blast as well, to time that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
With the survey, or with the
Okay.
public hearing, either, but
What-
January. Unless, did they schedule you?
No, no. I told him to coordinate with you
Okay.
because you
And
have
I
all the
haven't.
details.
Okay.
So.
And I have more details now, so that'll be
Okay.
good.
Yeah. So he should
Okay.
coordinate with you
Yep.
whenever. I mean, they said they're willing to do it, so
Great.
I'm sure that timing is not a.
I'll be happy to have something in January and not right now.
I know. I feel like
Right.
so much going on. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
December.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go have dinner.
I know.
I'm wondering what Andrew and Joanna's
Recording stopped.
year in review is going to be.
Hmm.
Did you see that in the packet?
No.
Item under